Sean.
Yes, Catherine.
Welcome back to the podcast studio.
Thank you, Mrs. Lippincott.
You are so welcome, Mr. Collins Grew.
Oh, yeah. It's been a little bit since we've been in the studio.
I know.
Because we're out on the road.
Man of the people.
Man and lady of the people. Yeah, HNA was a blast.
It was really fun.
It seems like every time we go to one, they go by faster and faster.
They really
There's
do.
so much to see at all these shows. So many people to see. It was really
And
a
the
great
chit-chat.
time. The chit chat. We gotta love the chit chat.
Yeah.
The chit chat is what we're there for.
For sure. But it's time consuming.
Chit chat, one of the most time consuming activities of my daily life.
Correct, yeah.
I spend most of my day chit chatting, sometimes with myself, sometimes with others. A lot of times people aren't listening, and then I have to say, "Can anybody hear me?" So that's my thing that I have going on. But no, it was really awesome. It's always cool to hear people say like, "Hey, I listen to the podcast."
Yeah.
Because once again, we say this a lot. We don't get as much. There's not as much feedback with this type of platform. So please leave us a review.
Dog us.
Hit
Not
us
just
up
a
on
person.
Instagram and stuff like that, because we get people come up to us all the time that are like, "Hey, I love the podcast. This one," and I'm like, "That's great. I had no idea that you listened."
Yeah.
Because there's not that interface really with the audio podcast.
Correct. Yeah. So that was really a nice thing.
So yeah.
Oh, were you still talking? Go ahead.
I was still talking,
Okay, go ahead.
so I think we need to pass our first referendum.
A referendum?
Yeah, you just said that like
did,
5 minutes ago, and I was like, that is hilarious, and it's perfect for us. So we're a new referendum. Mm-hmm. If you listen to the podcast, drop us a comment, drop us a review.
Oh, yeah.
That's not really the crux of a referendum that we came up with. It was kind of like a half-baked idea that we enact a law, but then we just kind of riff on it.
Yeah.
I just feel like it perfectly suits our vibe here.
It's perfect, yeah.
It's a law that we set in action that hasn't really been thought through yet. So in the coming episodes, we will be enacting new referendums.
Referendums, yes.
And we will riff about them. Anyway.
Glad that came up so early. I
couldn't
You couldn't hold it
contain
anymore,
myself.
yeah.
No, I
Okay.
couldn't. That was really great. So I do love that.
Appreciate it. All right, so what are we going to talk about this week?
Well, this week we have a lot of exciting things happening. I completely blanked out on what are we actually talking about? Oh, you know why? Because my brain's in a bit of a fog. Because we've fallen off a little bit on our personal development goals.
Both of us individually have, really fallen off the rails.
A little bit. I mean, not fully, but a
I feel
decent
completely off the rails.
Yeah, I don't feel totally on the rails. I'll tell you that much. But these things always go in cycles.
They do. Yeah,
I think you have to be a total psychopath to just like be so regimented that every day you have your daily ritual and you never miss a day. You never fall off. You never go through.
How are you going to get back on the horse if you've never fallen off? The horse?
Eventually you forget you're even on a horse.
Right.
And riding a horse
Who's
is
this
so
horse?
exciting.
Yeah, that is pretty fun.
You want to be cognizant of the fact that you're riding a horse.
Yes.
So ipso facto, you need to fall off every once in a while.
Correct. Yeah. So I blame mine on.
Look how I just slipped in that ipso facto.
That was pretty good. You're firing on all cylinders today, aren't you?
I'm fired up.
So I'm blaming mine fully on COVID because I had COVID and then that just totally knocked me off my schedule. And we're working so close to the town that we both live in. It takes me like 6 minutes to get to the job site every morning. So there's like no incentive to get up like early, work out, do my things. Cause I'm like, I can be there in 6 minutes.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And why is that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Ant always points that out. He's like, the further away the job is from your house, the earlier you get there.
Yeah.
Like when
you're
we're
like
working
committing to a
45 minutes
drive.
away, it's like I'll leave. It's like, okay, I got to be out the door at 10 of 7.
Yeah.
And it's like I'll get there at 7:35.
Yep.
We're literally, it's like a 3-minute drive from my house.
Yeah.
I'm getting there at like 8:01 every day. It's like ridiculous. And I feel so much more rushed in the morning.
I do too. I do
It's
too.
so weird.
I think it's, you're not going to hit traffic.
Yeah.
There's like one traffic light between my house and this job site. So
Same
I'm like,
one. Same one
Yeah, it's the
for
same one
mine,
you
yeah.
hit as well. So it's like there's like a 1 minute swing maybe.
Yeah.
Either way, that's the only variable, and it's just
That is
you're
funny
rushing.
though. It's weird.
And I feel like I still feel like I have the time in the morning. I drink my coffee and I'm like chit chatting with my husband. I'm like, and then I'm like, oh God, it's 7:51. I have to leave right this second.
Yep. Stop at that Wawa, get your coffee.
I don't even have time to do that.
You don't
'cause
even
I'm
have
so-
time. God, it's
So,
crazy.
anyway,
That's just a funny phenomenon because it
it's
proves
so
to be true every time we're working really close. So
100%.
let's be mindful of that and try
So,
to flip the
I
script
know.
on that.
And I think for me, I'm really excited because next week, or starting tomorrow, I am going to Florida.
Yes.
Then I'm going to a beach weekend directly after that, and then Deck Expo right after that. So I feel like I love a good like
Chaos.
disruption to the normal schedule to like kickstart a new thing for me. So that's what I'm going to be working on this upcoming next week, and I really think that I need it because I feel
So while you're on vacation, you're going to try to get up early and get back to some of your routine?
gonna try to start implementing things.
Don't be too
through
rigid.
this.
Take it easy.
Well, I'm going on a vacation with my children and not my children, my sister and her 2 children,
Yeah.
who will be waking up early. So I'm like, I already have that
Yeah.
built-in alarm clock. These children love waking up early.
They do. Screaming immediately. They love that.
Yeah, and it's like we're going to go stay at a house on the beach, so I can get up, take them for a walk in the morning, so my sister can have like some peace and quiet. I'll get a sunrise walk in with the children. That sounds like
That sounds lovely.
lovely. What
It
a great
does.
way to restart, recharge. So I'm using that as my little disruption because if I didn't have a disruption, I would probably just keep doing what I'm doing. And I feel like my brain is
Till you
just,
die. Yeah.
it's just mush at this point, and I need to get back on my horse.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that. I feel like my...
What are you blaming yours on?
I'm going to blame mine on, number one, this lumbar elbow. I got this
Yeah.
tennis elbow situation. I am wearing a sleeve underneath this sweatshirt. It's getting a little bit better. It's getting a little bit better this
Okay.
week because I really took off. But I was hitting the gym 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day with, our old coworker, Pat. And we were on a pretty good run. But Halloween and this elbow situation kind of derailed me a little bit. So
Halloween.
Halloween with the candy, my God.
Oh, the consumption of candy.
The consumption of candy was off the charts. It was
Yeah.
insane. But I just love candy.
You can't say no. And if it's in your house, it's like,
It's got to go. It's got to get out one way or the other. So might as well go through my body to get out of here. That's the way I look at it. You can either, throw it in the trash or flush it down the toilet. I chose to flush it down the toilet.
TMI.
Well,
Just kidding.
It's just,
No,
it's just biology. It's
yeah.
just the way of.
just the way of the world.
It's the circle of candy. All right. Anyway, so I do want to touch on a couple things that will some psychological tricks to zap you back into action, resuscitate you, give you the
Right.
shock pads
Yeah.
to get you back to your grind.
And maybe we should set some goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a great idea.
All right. Perfect.
Anything big and exciting going on in your life right now?
Nope. What about you?
Oh my! Well, let me think. Buying a new house
Oh my God.
on some land.
That's brand new news to me.
I know you haven't heard about this like a million times, but it's very exciting. I feel like this is part of one of my dreams starting this business.
Yeah.
It's always been a pole barn. Gotta have that pole barn. I don't know what my obsession is with having a pole barn.
Yeah.
Gotta have one.
Right.
Never had the land for one. Now I'm gonna have the land for a pole barn.
Correct. Yes.
So one thing I want to talk about with this, I'm kind of like struggling with it a little bit because I feel like it's something that's a little bit out of character for me because it's the house is fairly expensive, I guess. Like it's everything's expensive now.
Yeah.
I want to kind of go through my thinking behind it, how I'm justifying it, how I'm looking at it, because
You don't have to justify it to anybody but yourself.
I know, but I just want to talk about it, how I'm going through this situation, because it can be, it's always a huge decision buying a house, making a big move like that. So, interest rates are crazy high. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that are going on right now that make it seem like, hey, this probably isn't a great time, but I want to kind of go over a couple of those things.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Cool. So basically, we decided, it's time to move. Our house has treated us so well. Bought it for an insanely low price over 10 years ago. It's like tripled in value. We've put a lot of work into it, but it's tripled in value. It's almost entirely paid off. So right now, housing market is like insane where we're at. The house that we're gonna buy, it was on the market for like literally 3 days before we were under contract. So the prices are pretty elevated, I'd say. My thinking behind that is we're also selling our house at an elevated price. So it's kind of like, tit for tat situation. You're buying a little bit high, you're selling pretty high.
Yeah.
Don't be high in the meantime. You need to be level headed for this. But the other thing is the interest rates. The interest rates right now, insane.
They are insane. Yeah.
They are absolutely insane. So I'm kind of looking at it like, you know what they say about buying a house.
I didn't until you told me.
You marry the house, you marry the price, you're dating the rate.
Right.
Because eventually the rates are going to go down.
Just refinance.
So we're going to be able to put a lot down because we're selling our house, all that kind of stuff. So it's still a little scary. I love being in that zone where like you have this huge cushion. Like literally we could like make almost no money in this business. My lifestyle would not change that much. My house is insanely cheap. Like it's almost paid off.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a kind of a big shift there, which, is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but overall I'm super excited about it. It's going to be like the new Premier Outdoor Living sort of headquarters.
Yeah.
Be able to store machinery there, be able to finally, have some big equipment when we decide to get it, have a place to store it. Like it'll be right there. I can just, hey, we need the skid steer today. Let me load it up on the trailer, drive it out the driveway.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm, also looking at it as like, this is a cost of business as well. It comes with the land. So a couple acres and, it's a business expense.
Yeah.
Spend money to make money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So, what do you think? Should I go through with it? Or should I back out? Right now, all we've done is sign the contract and given 10 grand. So I'm only out 10 grand if I get scared and run away. What do you think?
I mean, it's a wholly personal.
You think I should back
decision.
out? Oh, God, I made it horrible. No, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it about the house.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I'm very excited for, because this past year we did a couple projects this year in particular that I was just like, I want this. I want this project.
Oh yeah.
The one that we did on the golf course. Mm-hmm. I was like getting kind of mad when we were there taking the final pictures because I was like, I want this. I don't want you to. I know you paid for it, but I want to keep it. I want this. This is so nice and comfortable and just like so chill.
Yeah.
So I feel like we built a couple of those projects where I'm like, I want this. And the house that I'm currently in, no backyard for any of that kind of stuff. So I don't know when we'll get to it, but I'm really excited to finally have like a blank canvas to be able to build a Premier project for myself.
Yeah.
So
our projects usually take like 2 months. Are we going to be working on your house for 2 months, or is this like a weekend thing?
It's going to take a lot longer than 2 months. It's going to be the most epic Premier project ever. We're going to slate all of 2025 to this project. No, I don't know. I haven't decided. There's no plans for that yet. Gotta get the pole barn.
Another thing about this new house is you've made this list, and all of it you're completing on day one. Is what you keep saying.
I do keep saying, that's day one. Pole barn, day one.
Day one. Demoing the existing deck, day one.
Oh,
new
got
kitchen,
to.
day
It's horrible.
one.
Day one, yeah. New kitchen, day one. New
That
floors.
shed back there, day one.
Day one, definitely, yeah. Might as well. I'll be back there doing a lot of other stuff. No, this stuff will take time. That was just a joke. I don't think it's possible to do all that in day one, but...
Yeah, with that attitude.
True. But no, I'm super excited about it. It's a little bit spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making a big decision like this, but I said that to my dad, and you know what he said? If your dreams don't scare you a little bit, they're not big enough.
It's true.
I said, well, you've been listening to the podcast or something? Sounds like us. So I'm like, yeah, that's true. It was scary when I bought this house over 10 years ago. I was in no position to be buying a house then.
Yeah.
Probably in a better position to buy this one than I was to buy that one then.
Yeah. I mean, comfortable decisions are like boring decisions. Like if you were
True.
just like, all right,
Like,
I
let
have
me
a
have
very
a
modest
donut.
home and let
Okay.
me go to another like very comfortably affordable home.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any incentive to like grow.
Exactly.
You do a little bit of a reach, inspires you to grow a little bit. So
Exactly.
That's
so I'm
great.
excited for it.
yeah,
You excited for me?
sure, yeah.
Oh, great.
I don't know if it's my place to be excited, but yeah, I think. Oh, you know what I am excited for?
What?
At your new house?
The goats.
Well, that yeah.
Yeah. The go-kart track?
Not that.
Quad track? 'Cause
There's
that's
an
gonna be
albino
separate.
deer
Oh, yeah.
at your house.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I would
Yeah.
like to see that one day. So hopefully he's still around when you guys move in.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to actually see the house yesterday before
yeah.
because we were going to an event in Long Island. Had to stop there for the inspection, and we met the existing owners, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Who's this person?" I'm like, "This is just my coworker."
Just don't mind me. It was waiting in the
Just
car,
here.
come in this house.
Yeah. So here I am. So you got to see the albino deer, a picture of the albino deer, which kind of wanders around the neighborhood, which I'm
Yeah.
excited to see.
That's pretty cool.
I think so.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, it's a lovely home, and I think you guys are going to be very happy there.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess that's it on that. My big news.
That is amazing. I thought you were going to work that back into talking about like resetting.
Oh, my goals?
Yeah, like a reset or why, like what threw you off your goals.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about it. That probably also played into it. There's been so much going on with buying a new house.
Yeah.
Like, it's got my mind all preoccupied. That's probably threw me off a little
Yeah.
bit as well.
Probably.
So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a total reset because right now I've been going to the gym, which is very close by my house. This is kind of out in the woods a little bit. I'm going to have to start working out at home again.
Ooh, are you going to build like a new gym?
Absolutely.
Where? In the pole barn? In the basement?
Probably its own
own-
structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
An
I don't know.
additional pole barn.
There's
That
gonna
could
be
be
so
cool.
many freaking pole barns on this property. It's gonna be insane. No, probably in the basement for now. I would think. I would think. There's actually a workout room in the basement right now,
Oh, cool.
sorta. But yeah, one of their kids, like 350-pound lineman. That's where he was pumping iron.
Oh, it's got that good juju. Of,
Got that good juice
yeah.
down there. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So yeah, that's I think going to. So what do you want me to say? How this is gonna recharge me into? I think it's gonna be
You can
unrelated.
say whatever you want, but I
I
thought
think it's going to be unrelated. I think
we were talking about
I need
that,
to
and then you-
segment my mind.
and then you branched into the new house situation. So I thought that you were going to bring that back to like, I just, hey man, it was just like
my
a,
plan was kind of it was going to be a non sequitur. It was just
Okay.
like we were gonna let's take a break from talking about all this personal development stuff. Let's talk about something exciting.
oh, okay.
So it will be another adjustment once I move in there.
Yeah.
You know, kind of resetting because I'll be doing a lot of work to the house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll kind of throw me into a bit of a frenzy.
Yeah. It's going to be during the holidays too. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're going to be a busy guy.
Oh yeah. But hey, everybody's busy. That's not an excuse.
That's true. Everybody's busy.
So yeah, I was not using that as like a metaphor to, bring back into
Got it.
personal development,
Okay.
but I'll need to be on my game, you
will,
know?
yeah.
I'll need to be focused, laser focused in this new pole barn.
Right.
I mean house, whatever. Yeah. So now let's get back to the personal development stuff.
Okay.
Because I think with me, there's always, something's going to come up that's going to derail you. Like, we're making up all kinds of excuses here with COVID and the candy and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be stuff that pops up that derails you. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
This stuff comes in ebbs and flows. But for me, it's like, it's a mindset shift. It's really easy to fall off of that horse. You can be going every day. It only takes like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 days in a row where you're just like you're traveling or something's going on that it breaks you from that routine. And that like 4th day after you miss 3 days, that's so hard to just like get back on. You've missed a couple days, so you're like, all right, well, might as well miss a week.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? And how do you, is that kind of like what goes on in your head as well? And how do you circumvent that?
Yeah, I feel like this only applies to like parts of the self-improvement journey, but like for me, I was sick, and I'm big on like letting your body rest when it needs it.
Yeah.
And I had never had COVID before. That was my first time with COVID.
Okay.
So I was sick, and then it took me a while to get like my like I wasn't that sick, but like it took a while for my energy levels to get back. So in my mind, I was like, your body is telling you to rest. You go pretty hard pretty regularly. So like listen to your body, let it rest. But then it got to a point where I was like,
sloth.
enough's enough.
Yeah.
You can't just be here rotting and being like, oh, I'm still tired, you know? So
Yeah.
I do kind of resonate with that, that fourth day, you're kind of like, well,
Took 3 days off. What's
But-
the difference? 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Who cares? You know?
yeah. So I was recently listening to a podcast, and the person was saying, like, when it comes to this kind of stuff, don't fixate on like, oh, I failed my goals or whatever. Just be a person who does the things that they say they're going to do. So if you tell yourself,
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and work out, you make sure that you're doing that, because that's just going to lead to more. If you don't, that's going to lead to more excuses of like, well, you know, I said I was going to do it yesterday and I didn't. The world didn't end. It was fine. Like,
Yeah.
but you are the only person that can hold yourself accountable ultimately. So you need to switch your mindset to being the person who does the things that they say they're going to do to themselves. Because if you externally, you have people holding you accountable for like work items or personal items, but like
For bills.
bills, yeah. But there's no one who's going to force you to work out. That's just on you.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is just be the person who does the things that they're going to say
They're going to do the things that they are going to say that they will do for themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good way of looking at it. Like, you know, you're really just keeping that promise to yourself that I
Yeah.
said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it because I said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's like a good way to go about it if you kind of like set shorter term goals. So it's like, you know, it can be really hard to just say, all right, well, I'm going to work out for 30 minutes for every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, like eventually you're gonna be like, oh, I'm really like, it's really gonna be hard to stick with that. But if you're like, okay, this month I'm gonna set, you know, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of cardio every day or whatever. You know, it's just, I said I was gonna do this for 30 days. 30 days is doable. Let me stick to this and then kind of reevaluate, maybe set a different goal, switch things up a little bit to keep it fresh. But it's like more of a manageable goal to, you know, comprehend for
Yeah.
yourself. Like it's something finite. It's not just like, I'm going to work out every day for forever.
Yeah.
You know, that's easier to fall off of than I'm going to work out every day this month. And then reset, and maybe it'll be another exercise related goal, or maybe it's something a little bit different. Maybe it's yoga,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. I think is the smarter way to go about it. But me, I just want to be like, well, I'm going to get locked in. I'm
Yeah.
just going to work out every day for the rest of my life. And I'm going to be so jacked, and I'm just going to,
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome.
I think you need to also, when you're doing something like that, where it's like, I'm going to work out every day for the rest of my life, like that rigidity is obviously unsustainable. But if you
Yeah.
just like change your mindset to like, I am a person who works out,
Yeah.
and also kind of preempt what your excuses might be that would make you fall off that. Like my biggest thing is waking up early. I have never been a good I've never been good at waking up early. I never
You've
wake
never
up.
been a good person.
I've never been a good person also. I've never been good at waking up like feeling refreshed. Like I don't, even when I had a long streak of waking up at like 4:45, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I still wasn't waking up feeling like, oh my gosh, what an amazing night of sleep. I am ready to go, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Let's start the day. It's always like I'm getting up at 4:45, but I'm still like,
What's the bushy tail thing? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
as I was saying it, I was like, am I even saying this right? That doesn't make any sense, but
I think
We'll
that
go
is a
with it.
saying. Yeah, I'm pretty
It is
sure.
a
I'm
saying,
sure.
but-
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get
We're talking
it.
a squirrel. What is it? I don't know what we're
As I
talking.
said, I don't wake up that way, so it must just not be for me to understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when I wake up in the morning, I know that my brain is going to make all of these excuses as to why I can snooze. So it's my job to like, when I'm clear-headed during the day, do everything that I can to think about what excuses am I going to use in the morning to not wake up early, and what can I do as a clear-headed person to stop myself from doing that. So my bed is all cozy, and all I want to do is stay in there. So what I do is I
Yeah.
wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt to bed, so I'm hot. I'm not in that cozy little warm cocoon of a bed. I'm getting hot by that time, and I'm ready to jump out of bed. I'll put my alarm clock on the other side of the room, so it makes me get up to turn it off.
Oh, that's a good call.
Or even sometimes I put it like the way that my house is like a long hallway, so I can put it at the other end of the hallway next to the bathroom. So I'm still going to hear it. But then if I'm like already halfway to the bathroom, start your day at that point, you know? Like if you got to get up to do it. So like if I can preempt my excuses with a clear mind, then it like, I'm not going to have those excuses in the morning, and it's going to be a lot harder to make myself snooze. And I'm saying this from the trenches because I am in the trenches of snoozing right now. So
Yeah.
I'm saying what I'm going to do with a optimistic mindset.
This is our coming to Jesus moment.
It is. It is.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's so many. You can watch everybody online that's like, I do this every day forever, and you just have to stop being a little baby and just do it. I don't know. Maybe there are a lot of people like that.
No, I think that even the people that are like that, they still do things to help themselves. It's not like,
Well, yeah, definitely.
no one's just dragging them through the trenches of mind control or whatever. Like you're still doing things to set yourself up for success.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's very normal, and you shouldn't really beat yourself up for falling off the horse. You just got to
Just a little, and then get
just
yourself
a little
back.
bit, yeah, and then just get back on it. Preparing for the next day, that's a really, really good tactic.
Yeah.
That helps me so much. I'm starting to put it all together. You know what is leading to all of this?
What?
Guess.
Your new house.
No, you're probably never going to guess. That was
don't
a
know.
dumb exercise. Laundry. My laundry situation.
Oh, God.
When my closet is clearly organized, I have all my clothes. Right now, I'm
This is
just...
such a metaphor for life.
It really is. I'm just sifting through a huge pile of clothes, some dirty, some clean. I have to sniff it before I put it on. It's absolute mayhem in my closet right now. Mm-hmm. So it's really difficult to wake up and I'm like, I don't know, what shorts am I going to wear? What's even happening? So that's actually number one thing on my list for this weekend.
Yeah. I feel like that's the first rule your mom tells you when you're getting ready for school. Put your outfit out for the next day and you won't have to do it in the morning. And
I know.
My God.
It really
Moms
is.
know best. That is the best advice.
It really is. And when I am in a really good swing of just getting up and getting after it in the morning and doing the things that I don't necessarily want to do, work out. Usually when you wake up, I mean, a lot of times when you're in that swing, you're like, all right, yeah, let's get the workout in.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of those days where you're like, all right, I'm going to work out because I need to work out.
Yeah.
The more other things that are taken care of, if you wake up and you're just in a frenzy, all right, I know I have 10 things I need to do today when I get to work. What are those things? I forget. I didn't write them down yesterday. Mm-hmm. I got to get lunch ready for today. I didn't pack it yesterday. I don't know what I'm gonna make. I don't know what I'm gonna wear today, and that's even more important as it gets colder because you got to wear more things.
Yeah,
you have to have more things ready because if you don't, you'll be underdressed and you'll be miserable all day.
Yep.
So, getting all of those things laid out the night before, it's a difficult habit to get into. But when I'm most successful, in my morning routine, where that's usually when I'll do all the things that I don't really want to do, but I need to do. It's because I've prepared the night before. I've used the Microsoft To-Do app to set up my top 5 things that I need to get done the next day, so that I don't wake up with that foggy brain of, I feel so hectic. I know I have a ton of things to do. If they're just written down beforehand, usually at night, it's very clear to me, what are those things I need to do?
Yeah.
In the morning, it's just I know I have a million things to do. I'm way too foggy to remember what any of them are. And it just feels like this cloud of chaos in your head. So
Yeah.
setting up those top objectives for the next day, the night before, super important for me, especially. Mm-hmm. And then the little things making sure your laundry is set up and organized and clean. That's a big thing for me as well. And also doing things just knowing what you're going to pack for lunch the next day, either having it ready or having it kind of figured out so it's ready to go. that takes like all that mental load off of you. So it's just like, wake up, know what I'm going to wear, get to the thing that I don't really want to do but need to do,
Right.
which is usually work out, do a meditation, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is that a
there's-
plan for success? I hope so.
It is. It is. It is. And
oh God, I hope so.
the morning, that's one of those things I feel like I'm like, oh my God, I hate it because it's so true. But morning routines really do set you up for the day. And it's like,
They do.
it feels so much better when you have like a good, productive, smooth morning before you leave the house.
Absolutely. You feel like you've conquered a lot already.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I'm already firing on all cylinders. I'm ready to go. Let's
Yep.
get to work rather than like, oh God, I gotta get out the door.
I gotta get out the door.
I'm gonna be late. I'm 6 minutes away.
Yeah. And a good morning sets you up for a good day.
Yeah.
A good night before sets you up for a good morning.
Yeah.
So it's really like what comes first. You keep going. You gotta stop the cycle at one point and be like, okay, this is the night that I'm gonna prepare for the next morning.
Yeah.
Let's get this going.
Do you feel like
Let's
the
get it locked
changing?
in.
Do you feel like the changing of the seasons like messes you up?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just because it's colder and it's like, oh, I just want to stay in bed. It's so nice. So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's a good idea to like. So now, if I go to the gym, or I mean, even if I like run on the treadmill's in the garage. It's freezing out there.
Yeah.
I have to wear like more clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just go to sleep in those clothes? Pop right up.
There you go.
Don't even put the shoes on. Sleep in the shoes too. Just walk right out the freaking door, and get after it.
Yeah. That's a great tip. Sleep in your shoes. Sleep in everything.
Sleep in everything.
To get you ready for the day.
Absolutely. And then you can wear your work clothes underneath your workout clothes. So you get done your workout, strip those off.
Peeling off layers.
Yeah, it's just a layer situation. No, but I think for me, realistically, like it is preparing the night before, because my mind is just like a whirlwind of chaos at all times. It's just how my brain kind of operates. It's all over the place. So when I'm not prepared and I don't have things like thought out beforehand, I always feel like I'm like grabbing at straws. Like, I know I have all these things to do. I feel so busy.
Yeah.
But when you first wake up in the morning, like that's not the time to be like, all right, let me plan the whole day.
Yeah.
You need to do that like when you've been awake and you're clear-minded, and usually the things that you have to do that day come up the day before.
Yeah.
So like it's fresh in your mind. Be like, okay, these are the objectives I need to take care of. Let me just write this down. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes, just do it.
Yeah. It's like
But
a
it can be
brain
difficult.
dump. It feels like so good to get things out of your brain and just onto paper, because it just
Absolutely.
feels so much. It feels lighter once you've done that.
God, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
All right, so what's going to be our goals?
Goals. Okay. So I feel like everything for me comes back to just getting on a set wake up time and not snoozing. So that is my like number one priority. Get back to, for now, I'm going to say 5 a.m. because all of our next couple of jobs are
Close.
pretty local. So I don't think I need to go to the 4:45.
But you will if you need to.
But I will. Yeah, if we're gonna, I mean, now you're moving like 45 minutes away, so I think that our locale
It's like 38 minutes. It's not 45.
Be realistic, Sean. It's 45 minutes.
No.
If you go at the exact right specific moment, it could be 38 minutes. But
No, it could be like down to 36 even.
okay.
Don't make
So
it sound like
assuming
it's
there's
45
no
minutes
traffic,
away. It's like
if I were
rush
to head,
hour 42.
if I were to head to your house during rush hour, it would take me an hour to get to your house.
No, it would not. That is insane. Not an hour. That is insanity.
It was taking me an hour to get home from our Medford job, and your house is farther than that. But I rest my, it's fine.
That's not true.
It is true.
It's not true. We live close to each other. It takes 40 minutes to get back from that Medford job.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Bold-faced
Either way.
lie.
Okay. It's
anyway.
farther into New Jersey than what has been our usual
Yeah.
radius.
Right.
So
How do
The
we know
radius
this?
might
Why
adjust.
are we bickering about this?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
but
who knows? Who could
the
be sure?
radius is going to move, is what I'm saying. Like now that Premier headquarters is in a different place, our radius will adjust a little bit.
Maybe.
So for me, it'll be a little bit farther. So once we get to those farther jobs, all of the ones are pretty close right now.
Yeah.
But assuming that the radius will adjust a bit,
Maybe.
then I'll probably go to that 4:45. That was my only point. We didn't need to bicker about it.
All right.
It's all okay.
All right. Fine.
So my goal is
I don't want to
First
feel like
and
I'm moving
foremost-
far away though.
Why?
It's like 42 minutes at rush hour. It's not
Sean.
an hour. An hour seems like I'm moving really far away, and that's scary. 42
you
minutes.
only feel that way because you've only ever lived in Palmyra. It's good to move away a little bit.
My
It's not a
hometown.
bad thing. Moving far away is not a bad thing.
But it's not that far. It's in between. It's in the middle. All right, anyway. Stop scaring me. I'm making such a big life adjustment. It's already scary enough.
I'm so sorry. It's
Okay.
so very close.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So my goal is the early wake up because I think that once I get a handle on that, everything else will fall into place. I've still kept with the meditation.
Yep.
My reading has suffered a little bit, but I'm still doing it. So I know as soon as I'll have more time in the morning, I will get right back to that. And the morning yoga or Pilates, that will just fall into place. So priority number one, just getting those early morning wake ups again.
Yeah.
So what's your goal?
Reading suffered a little bit. You were getting pretty close to reading on a high school level, I think.
I
at
think
one point.
so. Yeah, almost. I was almost there.
Back to like middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those Nancy Drew books are good though.
they really hit hard. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's it's really good. I think just in general for everybody, but me as well. Like focusing on one thing that's like the tipping point. Like if I do this one thing, I'm way more likely to do all the other things. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Mine is definitely prepare my next day the night before.
Yep.
That's always when really it comes down to just waking up with a clear mind. I wake up feeling clear and oriented for my day if it's already figured out and it's written down on my phone.
Yep.
You know, especially if the worst thing is I know I need to pick stuff up the next day for work. Like I need to stop at Lowe's or whatever. It's like, if I don't write that down, then it's like, you're leaving the job site and it's like, I need a tube of glue and a 2x4. It's like, I can remember that. You wake up next morning, you're like, what are those two things? I know it was like so simple. So doing things like that for me is my number one. That is going to be my domino that I will knock down.
Yes.
And yeah, should we pick like one thing that maybe we haven't been doing and get back to?
What do you mean? That is
Like-
precisely what I just did. Or like a new thing you're saying.
Yeah, like a new thing.
Like put a new goal out there.
Like, yeah, I've still been working out pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Been, meditation here and there, but I'm thinking maybe like journaling.
Okay.
Maybe we
yeah.
add something in that, like, we kind of dabbled in that for a little
Yeah.
bit, but maybe just pick like one thing. Like, I don't really feel like I'm in a place where I need to set like exercise goals. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
in a pretty good rhythm with that. It's just like I need to set up my day beforehand. I've been looking forward to working out. That's been going good. Need to cut back on that candy. God, that candy. That candy's so delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think
So
it would
journaling,
be
that's a
nice
good
to you want to pick that one?
I would, yeah. I think journaling is something that's just never really stuck for me. So
Okay,
I
let's
think
pick
that
something else then.
No.
Forget I ever said it.
I want it. I would like
Take
it
it back.
to be journaling, and
okay.
I'm saying because it has never stuck for me, I feel like this would be a good incentive for me to
Yeah.
really make a good effort at it. Something else that I really want to make a good effort at is I always feel better when I'm spending more, like I spend all day outside at work, but
Yeah.
for some reason, if I go outside and like run or go for a walk, it like helps my body adjust to the cold in some sort of different way that doesn't happen at work.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like my body adjusts better to the cold at work. So I really want to get to a point where I'm like still doing that. Like I was very good at doing walks every day and then I kind of fell off of it.
Yeah.
Now that it's getting a little bit chillier and it gets darker earlier.
Right.
And I don't like doing these things in the dark by myself.
Scary world.
So one of my goals is figure out how to make myself comfortable going for runs by myself in the dark.
Guns,
No,
strapped up,
Definitely
head to toe, ammo, rocket launchers.
I feel like every time I say that, people are always like, oh, just carry a gun. And it's like, then I turn into the predator. If I'm just like running around with a gun, then I look like the unhinged one.
Yeah, where do you put it? You know?
I don't know. I
It's
don't
hard
know.
to carry like a phone, you know? I had to get an Apple Watch because I wanted to listen to music, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know, you're jangling around with your phone. If that's a gun, like you don't want that thing. You know,
You don't want that jingling and jangling. It's got to be secured in some sort of
it's got
fashion.
to be secured
Yeah.
so that it's not just you're not shooting yourself.
Yeah. I think that mine
Terrible
would be
idea.
maybe like a dog that could go with me. I have 2 dogs, but they won't walk with me. So I think maybe
Lazy,
they're too lazy.
lazy dogs.
They're too lazy and old.
You need a new dog. It always comes back to getting more
I
animals
know
for you.
it does. It sure does. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I do carry a knife when I have like a little running pouch, but still, it just doesn't feel like
Enough.
enough.
Stabbing someone doesn't feel like enough.
Well, how are you
protection.
gonna get to the? I feel like this is just getting unhinged, but like,
This is
how
definitely getting unhinged
How are you
for
gonna get
sure.
to the knife in a? If someone's getting me, then they're gonna get the knife. You know, like I don't know. I feel like if I have a dog, people don't approach people with dogs. That seems like a very reasonable.
It's got to be a scary type of dog.
I think it just has to be a loud kind of dog. Scary would be better, but loud is really the key.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point.
But anyway, so
Anyway.
whether it's a dog or something else, I need to make sure that I keep being active outside during the winter when it's getting dark so early and stays dark so late in the morning.
Right.
So that's another one of the rules.
Beautiful.
But I got to
Love
do the
that.
wake up early first. So
It all comes back to that one thing. You got to find your first domino.
Tipping
What is your
point,
first
yeah.
domino that you need to knock down, and then the rest just feels like it takes care of itself?
Yes.
You got to figure that out. That's wonderful. So,
Okay. Have we had enough of that? Are we ready to move to our last referendum?
I think so. Yeah. What
Okay.
is it?
Well, it was just something that came to my mind recently after going to HNA, and last night we did another event
Yeah.
at a Top Golf and stuff.
How long have we been going here?
42 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering.
Sorry, did my talking get in the way of your interrupting?
Yeah, definitely did.
But I feel like when you go to these things, there's just this constant onslaught of people wanting to give advice, which is wonderful that people are so willing to share knowledge. And I think that it can be so helpful if you're in a place to receive certain bits of information.
Yeah.
But it also leads to a lot of noise where the advice is like too much. And it's almost like, are these people who are giving said advice qualified in giving said advice? And I feel like when I was new in this industry, I felt like I was just trying to absorb as much information as I could, just being a little sponge because I wanted to learn everything and I wanted to just take in everything. And I felt like everyone had such a good handle on what they were doing. But now
Right.
that I'm kind of a little bit more seasoned and I can kind of see more
Of what's
through
going
that.
on.
Yeah, I feel like I have a much better handle on it. It kind of makes me see through this this veil of bravado where people just give unsolicited advice coming from no place of experience or expertise.
Yeah.
It's just almost people talking to talk. And I feel like at first you can kind of get distracted by that.
Yeah.
So this is a referendum because it isn't a fully fleshed out idea, but it's just something that I've been thinking about where it's like, just be careful where you're getting your information from. And I think that every single person on this planet has some piece of advice that could be meaningful to you in some capacity.
absolutely.
You're always learning. You're always getting new information.
Always learning. Never stop with the learning, people.
Exactly. But there's just something there that's like, throw a little question mark at the end of it sometimes, just because you don't know where these people are, where their expertise is coming from, and if that's really going to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people everywhere are just willing to, not even willing, are just forcing their input into your situation or whatever. Or I think it goes both ways. I think as a business owner looking for advice, you have to, just sift through a lot of the noise to figure out what is, not only good information or bad information, but what's good information that for you that'll apply to your business, or what is something that's maybe a good piece of advice, but it's going to benefit somebody else in a different situation, in a different type of business. And then the flip side of that is as somebody, just because we have a lot of followers online, people a lot of times think I'm going to be an expert on every part of the business, and So I'm always like very clear, like, hey, there's a couple things that I think I have above average knowledge or insight on. And that's some social media stuff, some branding stuff, maybe some marketing, thinking outside the box about different things. But when it comes to like scaling a traditional business or organization or setting up systems or being like an excellent leader or any of those things, it's like, I'm trying my best. Maybe I can just talk about my experience and maybe you'll get something out of that. But I always try to be really cognizant of like letting people know, like, hey, I'll share my experience, but that this is not like gospel here. I'm not saying like this is how you have to do it, because even the things that I think we have a pretty good hold on and we've proven that we've done pretty well, still it's like we're still figuring it out as we go. So like last night we did that. It was a decorators event at Top Golf in Long Island, and it was like we weren't really prepped for it. They were like, you're gonna just like talk for a little bit to all these people, and then it was like Q&A and people were asking some questions, and I tried to give my best input, and then I feel like I always at the end I'm just like, but that's just what I do. Take it for what it is. I don't know. It might help you. You might find something that you needed out of that answer that's going to impact you, but don't take what I'm saying as like some sort of truth. It's just is what it is. So I've always really tried to be mindful of that, and it can be hard because people just like, people don't know you a lot of times through social media. They're just like, this person's got a lot more followers than me. They must know it all. And it's like, half the time we're talking to people, I'm like, I got nothing to help you there. You're already way beyond where I'm at in this particular part of your business. I got nothing for you. I can tell you, you're doing a great job. I can say, wow, that's awesome. I can learn a lot from you. So I'm always trying to be mindful of that. And I think as somebody looking for advice, because there's a lot of people that might be in my situation that kind of just run with that, and they're like, yeah, this is how you got to do it. And they might just want that, like that kind of feeling that they have it figured out, and they want to feel that like praise from the outside, or they might be trying to get you into some sort of like, guru type of mentorship or whatever it is. They might have that money motive to get you into some sort of system that they want to coach you or something. So always be wary of that. And if you're in a position where people are coming to you for advice, be mindful of what is really the valuable advice that you can give. And make sure that, you're just share your experience and people can get something out of it, but don't act like you got it all figured out. I don't know.
I feel like even beyond these people that are like selling these like guru whatever things, I feel like I've just been in a lot of rooms where people want to be the loudest person in the room, giving the loudest advice, and just it's always wrong. Like, people want to be like, not that it's wrong, but it's, no one's fact checking these people, how much they're selling. So you can just say whatever, and a lot of people do. And I think that that's a valuable skill to be able to see through that kind of noise.
I mean, in any industry, like you get people together, you're at an event where there's like, we're going to be at Deck Expo. There's going to be, I don't know, lots of people there, a couple thousand, I don't know how many people go, a lot. And a lot of times there's a lot of events where a lot of people are together, at, some sort of industry event at these shows. And you get those people that really just want, like, you can tell they just want other people to think that they're important. And just be mindful of that, because, some people are really good at it. You're like, wow, this is so impressive. And then, you kind of see through it eventually, and it's like, they're just talking just to talk. They just want this allure of, hey, I'm that dude. Like, I'm the one that's got it figured out. I'm the big dog of this industry. And it's like, we're just building decks and patios out here. Like, it's not that serious. It's just, hey, I don't know. I'm trying my best. Maybe you can learn something from me. I don't know. We're gonna put it out there. See what you can learn. But
Yeah.
this is always a good time to be mindful of that. You know, show season. You're meeting people from all over the country.
Yeah.
And for the most part, everyone is amazing.
Amazing.
But there's
And really
always like at each show, one or two of these people that you're like, wow, they were really just like stroking themselves, or it's probably not the best. Now everyone knows what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like these shows are amazing because they are just like, it's just like a little petri dish of knowledge, and people are so kind and willing to share the things that they know, and it's amazing. And I feel like I always leave these things with like little nuggets of wisdom that I'm like, wow, I'm really going to remember that and take that moving forward. But on the flip side, there are those people that it's like, you're just talking to talk, and
Yeah, there's always one at every
and I feel
show
like it's like,
or whatever.
Yeah. And when you're so caught up in the moment, it can be easy to like get distracted by that and be like, wow, that's so impressive. And then you think about it and you're like, well, maybe not.
Something seems a little off.
Something seems a little,
Yeah.
bells and whistles are going off. So it's just, it's just something that I wanted to mention, and it was on the top of my mind. So
Yeah, I think just be wary of people out there. Everyone's
and don't be afraid of just doing your own thing. If someone has this like amazing business plan, it's going to work for everybody and blah, blah, blah. Don't be afraid to be like, you know what? That's not going to work for me. Do your own thing. Be proud of who you are. Don't follow somebody else's plan.
I never did. And look at me now. I'm in a cold warehouse space podcast studio.
It is pretty cold in here.
It's getting kind of cold, yeah. So take our advice. We got it figured out. We don't even have heat in here. We actually do.
We do. We don't have air conditioning. We do have heat. We just didn't turn it on.
We didn't turn it on today. I don't think it's this cold. But
Me neither. Okay,
all right,
well, anyway, time for
bad sales story of the week.
Yay!
All right, so this one is a really funny one. It's funny when you're getting stories from just like, a lot of different people, and it's like just, it's funny to hear somebody's like just bizarre story.
Yeah.
Like everyone's most bizarre story.
Yeah.
You realize there's so many. There's a lot of
funny
people
sample
listening,
pool,
and a couple people are sending stuff in, and it's like it's funny to hear everyone's like most bizarre story. So this one comes from Dan Carroll. He sent this in and does full remodeling and was going in for an estimate on floor replacement for like a whole. I don't know if it was the whole house or just a whole downstairs or whatever. And he gets there and there are like 70 cats in the house.
God.
Like an insane amount of cats. And obviously with that many cats, like, what the house smells like. You can probably smell it through your headphones right now. The ammonia smell, my God, it would knock you right out of your boots. And obviously the floors had been soiled. You get the whole picture there. The person wanted new floors throughout, but they were like, yeah, I have all the, you might notice I have all these, I have, a couple pets here, a couple cats, and they're not crate trained or anything. So you're going to have to work around the cats. Like they can't, we can't contain them or anything. They just kind of like to free roam the house.
Oh God.
They've never been in cages or anything, so we can't lock them away. So you just got to kind of work around them. And the person was like, there's like so many cats here. It's like insane. This is like not even possible without like booting them, like literally punting these cats out of the room as you're trying to lay a floor.
Was he also responsible for like keeping them inside too? So like as he's like moving his stuff like in and out of the house, he has to be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, there's a pile up on hallway 3. They're trying to get out the window. I don't know, but I would imagine, the homeowner would probably be like, 2 of my cats got out. They'd be like, how do you know that? First of all,
how can you possibly keep track of that?
How did you possibly count all these cats that quick?
Not Snickers.
They're everywhere.
I love him.
And needless to say, the job didn't go anywhere. Because
didn't want that job?
Kind of an impossible task.
Okay.
But I would have loved to see that. I imagine they never found anybody to do it because that's insane, impossible. Yeah. But I would have loved to see how somebody would have tried to do that. That'd be really funny. So to a video walkthrough, and you won't have to have that smell in your nose with
Yeah.
Groundwork. And you can try out 2 months, 50% off using code HardworkingHappyHour50. Right?
That's it. Yep.
Oh, okay. You were just giving me some sort of weird blank stare, like
You looked like you were going to keep like doing some sort of jangly
Yeah,
motion.
bah, bah,
you were
yay.
doing. You were getting really into it, so I was just going
yeah,
to finish.
cat pee smells horrible. No
It
good.
does. It really does. Yeah.
It's the worst. Oh
the
god. So I guess that's it for this week.
Yeah.
Next week we are gonna be talking about more cool stuff.
We're gonna do this again next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna be at Deck Expo. That's the week after
After
show season.
show season.
So excited.
Well, let us know if you're going to Deck Expo too. That we're gonna record some episodes there. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so. We haven't made any plans, but yeah, I think so. So let us know if
always the
let us know if
plan.
you're gonna be there and hang out with us and all that kind of stuff. But until next week, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.